I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. It's officially the new year, so let's take one last look at the stories covered on FYI throughout 2019 in the fourth and final installment of the Year in Review. For well over a year, one of the area's most prized museums closed as they relocated and changed the way we can experience history. Back in 2011, officials started the process of finding a new and improved home for the University of Michigan Museum of Natural History.
Today's the grand opening of the Museum of Natural History.
Here in the new museum, our visitors will be able to go through the building and look into real research labs and see scientists and students at work. There's a fossil prep lab and a biodiversity genomics lab. We also have all new exhibits. About half of the specimens and artifacts are favorites from the old museum, and then about half of them are new. So it's the latest science, it's all new, and we think people will really love it.
The museum boasts exhibits that we once loved, revamped with a fresh vision.
We've got our mastodon couple that people might remember from the old museum. Here they're going to greet you as you walk in the front door, and they're the only mastodon couple in the world. So we have a really unique world-class exhibit right as you walk in the door.
There are dinosaurs that I haven't heard of yet, and there's creatures that I haven't heard of yet that are cool and stuff like that.
You could see what's happened in an era and see what mass extinction of that era happened and what is going on now and how you can prevent extinction.
This museum is a place where you can learn about the latest science and get really great scientific information, but it's also a place of awe and wonder. You can just marvel at being able to touch a meteorite from outer space, just think about that, or to see the oldest rock in the museum, which is over 4 billion years old. They're just some really, really stunning things to see here.
The first phase of the renovation was complete in April of 2019. Once November rolled around, the U of M Museum of Natural History was fully open with many new exhibits to explore. The University of Michigan Museum of Natural History is fully open to the public, and their new exhibits are can't miss.
Under the microscope is so exciting and beautiful. The content of this gallery is like cell biology, DNA, genetics, developmental biology, and all those things are really, really tiny and too small to see with the naked eye. So we can't just put them in a display case. We had to get really creative. So one of the cool things, the centerpieces in the room, is a giant walk-in cell. So you can go inside and see models of what are called organelles, that are the mechanisms inside of our cells that are doing things all the time throughout our body.
Exploring Michigan takes a deep look at the history of the Mitten State.
It explores our state by looking at the geological history and the prehistoric history. So there are beautiful fossils in one of the areas. The centerpiece of the gallery are 5 new life-size dioramas of 5 different ecosystems in Michigan, including oak hickory forest, rivers, dunes, jack pine forest, and wetlands.
Interactive labs place you in the role of scientist.
They're using the tools that scientists use, like pipettes, and they're doing experiments like figuring out what blood type somebody is, or trying to understand the difference between lactose-free milk and regular milk. All different senses are used, and you can read, you can touch, you can watch, you can really get involved and talk with people.
The University of Michigan Museum of Art, or UMA, also changed with the times, and upon entering Alumni Memorial Hall, you'll be transported through time and areas of the world that seem familiar and unknown. As art evolves, so do museums, and UMA has made leaps towards creating a fresh museum experience.
We're calling it collection ensemble because it's really a result of digging into our collection, looking into the breadth of what we have. As the apse kind of unfolds in these 9 different spaces between the columns, they serve as stages or bays, and the collection of art inside of each one of them are almost like characters on a stage. It's a performative installation.
Even the wall color affects the sensory perception of the work.
Once we painted them black, immediately you began to see some of the architectural features of this beautiful hall more crisply. And we decided we would do what is called a call and response to the themes coming out of the Candida Hoffer photograph. So each of the installations between the columns, the bays, or what we're calling the stages, is responding to this photograph. Along the left side, it's responding to the conceptual ideas of the Catholic Church that's represented in the photograph. And along the right side of the installation, we're responding to the architectural features of the cathedral. So I'm hoping that the experience is one that may be repeated again and again. Each time you come, if you come alone or if you come with family or friends, you'll see different things and you can experience this as a very rich and vibrant installation.
Maple sugar tapped right from the tree is quite a process to behold, and every year you can experience it for yourself at Metro Parks throughout the area. Learn the technique of getting the sap from tree to table. Hudson Mills Metro Park is home to the sugar bush. These trees, tapped yearly, produce some delectable maple syrup.
We are making maple sugar. We're tapping our maple trees. When I say tap, I don't mean we're tapping like a woodpecker, but we're putting a little hole in there and taking some of the sap out. And here at the evaporator, we're boiling it down into maple syrup.
We tapped the tree to get the maple out of it, and we got to taste it.
Deep-rooted in America's history is the tapping of maple trees.
Maple sugaring was started by our native people that were here before the Europeans got here. It was just a way of making food at that time of the year when your winter food stores were used up.
What I liked the most was learning about how the different tools have evolved through the years from when they first started doing this with the Native Americans up till now using more newer technology.
Back then, they would use a wooden trough to boil it down in. Throwing hot rocks into the liquid would cause it to boil. So it's kind of a rocks in, rocks out, and they would actually continue on until they had a dried sugar product at the very end. So they wouldn't store it as maple syrup, it would actually be a dry sugar. They're going to kind of look at the history of it. They're going to see how the natives made it, how the first settlers made it, and how we're doing it today.
County parks offer so much to do and hold events throughout the year. To bring the witching season to life, they held a hootenanny in its honor.
It's the Halloween hootenanny at Independence Lake.
We have a scarecrow building, which you can see right behind me. We have an obstacle course. We have crafts. We have a trivia trail that wanders through our paved path through the woods. We have treats, we have games, we have face painting. We got lots of fun and exciting things.
The Halloween hootenanny brought the holiday to life, not just for the day, but to celebrate the season.
We've got stakes in the ground and we have the sticks, so pretty much everything's here for you to build your own scarecrow for your family. We have all the clothes for the scarecrows, we've got the straw for the scarecrows. We need you to kind of mix and match and put things together for your scarecrow, as well as kind of drawing the face on your scarecrow. So you're gonna have a friendly scarecrow, you're gonna have a scary scarecrow. It kind of is up to you and your family on what you want to do.
We've done crafting, games, and the scarecrow stuffing. We're about to do face painting and an obstacle course. Right now, we love doing the scarecrow and putting it together as a family.
We made bumblebees out of pine cones, and we made a scarecrow, and we did tic-tac-toe.
But it's a great time for you to spend with your family, doing some great things, enjoying nature, and being out at the park.
The city of Dexter joined in on the autumnal festivities with games, entertainment, and one-of-a-kind family fun. Our neighbors to the northwest put on quite a spectacle to honor the harvest season.
We are having our annual harvest festival that we call Dexter Apple Days. We have a big kids game tent, we have bounce houses, pumpkin bowling, we've got a scarecrow contest that we have a lot of our youth organizations participate in. We have an arts and crafts tent, all sorts of fun stuff for the kids.
There were contests galore, from scarecrow decorating, pie eating, and even a car show.
Our apple pie eating contest, and that's where we have the most fun. We have 3 age groups, 8 and under, 9 to 12, and 13 and adult. And we usually get 14, 15 in each age group, and they have to eat a pie.
We had 65 classic cars out today from all eras, from Model Ts all the way up to modern cars.
My favorite part about Apple Days is enjoying it with family and friends and being in a small town environment, supporting local businesses.
Dexter loves our cider mill, we love our community, and you'll just get that wonderful small town feel.
The Hands-On Museum is a treasure trove of knowledge and one of the best places of discovery in Ann Arbor. Watch as kids take a break from school and let their imagination soar through space. The Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum's Summer of Space is making learning about our solar system interactive.
The August theme is Strange World, Stranger Creatures, so the theme is focusing on what would life be like on a different planet that isn't Earth. So we've also talked about planets that we've discovered using the crazy space telescopes that can see really far into space, and we found planets that we think could support life because they are similar in conditions to Earth.
The hands-on activities reveal the way creatures evolve with their environments.
We're talking about blubber by demonstrating that if the kids put their hand in the ice water without anything on, it'll be really cold. But if they put it in the bag of shortening and then put it in the water, they won't feel the cold at all. So that's how whales and other creatures survive in these extreme Arctic conditions. And it's how life might survive on another planet that is much colder than Earth. They get to choose what they want to do and how they explore the space. So with all of our activities, they also get to choose how they interact with the activity, what questions they want to ask, what things they want to explore. So everything is tried to be very interactive and hands-on.
While kids are learning about the latest technology at the Hands-On Museum, adults had an opportunity to check out all the technological advances being made right here in our own backyard. During A2 Tech Trek, the forecast for technology is changing to shape our new tomorrow.
Ann Arbor has a really incredible depth of talent. Everything from engineers to software developers, people who really want to work in the high-tech space. You're able to attract and retain really good quality employees here. Plus, the cost of doing business here is nowhere near the cost of doing business on one of the coasts. So you get the talent, you get a lot of support from organizations like Spark who want to see you grow, and then you also get an affordable place for your employees to live and an affordable place for you to do business.
So ThinkSmiths is a company that's designed to help people create. We work with everyone from automotive manufacturers to the person with a napkin sketch. We use CAD design and 3D printing to accomplish this. So you can come to us with an idea and we can send you off with a product.
We're working on Class 8 semi-trucks. What we want to do is make them fully autonomous at some point. We want to put a product out there that can have incremental changes in the industry to help them solve some of the pressing issues. There's fuel economy, driver retention, safety, a whole host of different issues that we could apply some of this technology that's being developed for autonomous vehicles right now.
The breadth and depth of businesses that are achieving success here is something as a community we should really be proud of and celebrate, and Tech Trek's the chance to do that.
So like this is our PLA, which is kind of like our stand.
For 41 years, people of all races and genders gathered on the campus of the University of Michigan to fight back against sexual violence. Take Back the Night sheds a well-deserved spotlight on an issue that was in the shadows for far too long.
We're the University Students Against Rape, and we put on the annual Take Back the Night March and Rally. And we're here in the Michigan League tonight, and we're ready to take a stand against sexual violence.
It's still a problem, and it's still an issue that we're all facing, and it's something that even as we recognize it more and more, there's still so much work to be done.
Organizations from all over the area took a stand against sexual violence.
Planned Parenthood is here. You Good Fam is a mental health organization. And then there's SAPAC, which is it's a sexual assault prevention awareness center that's on campus. We also have Safe House, which is a domestic violence shelter in Washtenaw County. And it's just amazing to have all of these different organizations here to work with us and just understand that this is an issue that we're all fighting and we're all fighting on it together.
Connecting, learning, educating, taking something
I feel like the political climate nowadays is something that's obviously very charged, and the Me Too movement especially has sort of brought a new lens, a new light to this sort of topic.
When my rapist showed up under the People You May Know tab.
Our main speaker is Kevin Cantor. They are they're a poet, and they wrote the poem called People You May Know, and it was about their assailant who came up on their friends list on Facebook. We also have Gina Asciuto. She's our singer for the evening. She's from Detroit, and she was on American Idol.
It's obviously still a very prevalent problem today, and so we just like to bring hope, embrace survivors, celebrate their stories wherever they are and in their journey, and just show them that people do care about this, that they are believed, that they are heard.
We have the right, the streets are ours, take back the night, we have the power, we have the right.
Alternative modes of transportation are becoming easier and safer for people traveling in the downtown. The William Street Bikeway is making traveling on two wheels the wave of the future.
This is the grand opening celebration of the William Street Bikeway, which is Ann Arbor's first two-way protected bike lane.
So this is a guarded bikeway that people are able to just go right through town, coming from the university and right into the neighborhoods or wherever they're trying to go.
This gives people on bikes their own space on the road, and it actually gives visual cues to motorists that they'll see these delineators along the road and know that that is not the space for them to drive in.
This actually has these buffer that cars can't penetrate, so cyclists feel comfortable riding them.
This is the first of what could be many protected bikeways in Ann Arbor.
The Downtown Development Authority, working with the city, is creating the second two-way protected bike lane next year on 1st Street. So running from Kingsley to William, that bike lane will connect with this William Street bike lane, which runs from State down to 1st Street.
You just see how many people are out here today, people of all ages, children, grandparents, and teenagers all riding and feeling very comfortable, very safe.
There's an organization that you can join no matter where you live that has been molding the future for our young for over 100 years. Watch as the Boy Scouts of America commemorate some locals making the community a more inviting place.
On my honor, I will do my best.
For 26 consecutive years, the Boy Scouts have been recognizing community contributions through the Distinguished Citizens Award.
When one looks at the Scout Oath, Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, and so on. Those are all the kinds of values that you hope that people in our society would be seeking to emulate.
Our honoree tonight is Ken Fisher, the former president of University Musical Society. And two of the Boy Scout attributes that he's particularly notable for is his leadership of over 30 years of the Musical Society and also his involvement in the community. He not only engaged the University Musical Society in the Ann Arbor community, but he brought members of the community together in ways that wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been doing it.
What people need to realize, it's not me, it's everybody who's worked together in the community, in the university, to help UMS become the organization that it is.
We established the Corporate Citizens Award, who also demonstrated the highest values of scouting, so leadership, community engagement, and the other kinds of values like trustworthy, loyal, friendly, and Zingerman's community business has really checked so many of those boxes.
Zingerman's really tries to help develop individuals in a way that they can bring their best selves to work, and they can continue to grow and develop through their work, and over time, similar to the Scouts, you grow and develop in a way that you wouldn't have otherwise had you not had this experience.
loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Adaptive sports are changing the way people are living their lives. With the right equipment and know-how, people with physical impairments can enjoy the same recreations as their able-bodied counterparts.
OPAF and Eastern Michigan University are working together to bring FIRST clinics to Washtenaw County.
We're having our 8th annual Learn to Swim, Kayak, and Scuba Dive. And it's an adaptive program that's designed to reintegrate people with physical disabilities back into the community.
It offers people something that they thought may have literally been taken away from them, and we show them what the opportunities are and what the possibilities are, and we show them how to take it to the next level.
Once you're in the water, disabilities melt away because you're buoyant. So people have things like arthritis, people with limb loss, people with cardiovascular issues. I mean, the pool is wonderful because you're so much more buoyant. There's no stress on your joints. You don't have to worry about impact or any of those things.
They will learn the basics of kayaking, how to pull a boat, the strokes, how to balance within the boat, and if they get to the point, they'll learn to do a flip and then an upright. With scuba, they'll have a buoyancy compensator, they'll have a mask, they'll have fins, they'll wear a tank, they'll learn how to breathe underneath the water.
These FIRST clinics change people's outlook on life.
I've been doing adaptive recreation for years now. I have since I was a little kid. It was actually part of my physical therapy regimen. Back when I was very, very little, around the age of maybe 3 or 4. And now that I am 27, it's something that I just love to do. I love to swim, I love to be in the water, and it helps with my overall function. There's nothing better than them feeling independent. And this is where they can feel independent. To be on their own, to do their own thing, and to have fun while they're doing it.
When handling firearms, safety precautions are a must, and one local organization hosts weekly trap shoots for any interested individual to learn how to shoot under the guidance of people seasoned at the sport.
Since 1939, the Tri-County Sportsman's League has been a place for the hunter-gatherer in all of us.
Here at the club, we're situated on over 57 acres, and we have an archery field, a long range, an extended range rifle range. We have a pistol house. We also have 2 trap fields, and we've got 20-some acres to the south of us in the back where we use for overnight camping, like the Boy Scout day camps and things of that nature.
Every Sunday, the league opens their trap shooting range for any interested individual.
One of the hardest sports there is because most gun sports you're not shooting at a moving target where here you are.
With moving targets, every shot is different and it seems to be a lot more fun. Also, when you hit one of the targets, they burst, they kind of explode, so that's kind of an instant sign that you hit the target.
It's launched from a trap machine at about 57 to 60 miles an hour. You're standing 16 yards behind where it comes out. So when you shoot, you're probably shooting at about 30 yards if you're on it quick. The clay pigeon is biodegradable.
Most of us use a 12-gauge shotgun. It can be a single barrel, a double barrel, a semi-automatic, pump action, bolt action, as long as it can fire a single shotgun shell.
It's its own sport. It's sanctioned. I believe there was over 30,000 students, high school students in it last year alone. It's one of the safest sports. In the 30,000 kids that have been shooting for the last 5 years, we have not had one accident anywhere in the United States. And you can't say that about football, basketball, soccer, track, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter if you're short, tall, skinny, fat, whatever, anybody can shoot this sport. And physical size or limitations have nothing to do with your ability to do this. So it's open for everybody. Everybody's on equal grounds.
Since the 1930s, Ann Arbor has laid roots in the figure skating community, even being the birthplace of synchronized skating. Watch as our local figure skaters soared during Melody on Ice.
The Ann Arbor Figure Skating Club celebrated legends and icons during the 77th annual Melody on Ice.
There are over 200 skaters in the show this year. There are 45 different numbers, and they range in ability level from little toddlers that can wiggle backward and jump and are just probably the sweethearts of the entire show, to adult numbers, but a lot of mid-range levels.
What we're looking at is the legends and icons of music, people like Prince, Queen, Aretha Franklin, Elvis. We're going through the whole gamut.
It's a lot of fun. The songs this year are really good. They're total jams.
We're doing Respect by Aretha Franklin.
I come in and just kind of like help boost up the show a little bit, right? Like get to meet the kids, get to spend time with them. It's a nice thing for some of the skaters that haven't really been doing this a long time to talk to somebody that has, and they've been through, you know, that whole path that a competitive ice skater goes through.
The club has created some legends of their own on the ice.
We've had amazing skaters come out of the Ann Arbor Figure Skating Club, and Olympians, in fact, that have represented in the last 3 Olympics.
Skating's a very interesting thing where it takes so much time and so much effort to be able to understand the craft, because as you can kind of tell, the first time you put ice skates on, you step on the ice, it's a very foreign feeling and it's very uncomfortable. Yet when you watch someone on television, it looks really natural and really graceful.
It's fun to watch people enjoy themselves. It's fun to see how a lot of people's work pays off.
Waves rolled into Ypsilanti as the best of the best in wakeboarding and surfing showed off their high-flying maneuvers. Watch.
Picturesque Ford Lake became the 3rd stop on the Supra Boats Pro Wakeboard Tour.
We have the Pro Wakeboard Tour, which features the top 16 wakeboarders in the world and the top 6 wake surfers in the world competing head-to-head. It's a phenomenal event for wakeboarding and surfing and for the family.
It's awesome not only competing against your peers, but having a chance to compete against yourself and try to push yourself to the limits. The tour and Supra has allowed us to all come together in these awesome locations for battles.
Speaking of locales, Ford Lake was a coveted spot on the 2019 tour.
It's a tremendous site. It's level, it's deep. You're going to see some of the best wakeboarding ever. It's one of the best sites we've ever been to. They're being judged on amplitude and the size of the trick, the difficulty of the trick, and how well they execute the trick. So the judges take that all into account and give them a score, and they're posted immediately on the board so you can see how things are going. And it's just head-to-head. There'll be 4 people in each heat.
I'm trying to go as high as possible every trick, and then trying to make it look big and then aggressive.
I would say my favorite move is definitely a 720 big spin. I think it's visually pleasing and it's definitely challenging for a rider myself.
Back in on his switch toes.
They go 20 feet in the air. They're going to do double flips and back spins all in one motion. It's phenomenal that you're this close to the water to be able to see them do those kind of moves. And the surfers will do the same type thing, spinning constantly, doing 360s behind the boat without a rope. It's pretty cool to watch.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer, and remember to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.